Hey friends, I was looking through some more emails and the original document, and I come across one that I don't think I've seen before. It's kind of right in the middle of a big batch where it doesn't appear to be a lot of back and forth between one person. It looks like a lot of random incoming ones that she didn't reply to. And then there's a few of the long copy and paste reply about her petition and sending the letters to the governor and that sort of thing. And then a few replies scattered here and there. And I found this one reply and I just started cracking up, y'all. I have to show you. This is one where I am going to try again showing the emails. So far, it hasn't been a problem again. Still being very cautious. For my usual disclaimer, these emails were obtained through the Freedom of Information Act and the Missouri Sunshine Law. All prisoner communications are subject to Freedom of Information Act requests. Okay, so here we are on page 354. And as you can see, at the very top here is the last of a copy and paste. And then there's a bunch of inbounds. It says, "Hello, you don't know me, but I'm watching your show right now, me and my boyfriend. I'm so sorry that you went through what you did. I don't know why people do the things they do. What's your story? If you don't mind me asking, I read on the news, but they don't tell you the whole truth. Then what's up? How you doing? And then hey, good morning or good afternoon. I've been wanting to email you, but today I finally decided to just go for it. Haha. How are you today? Hope all is well with you. Smile." And that one came in on December 23rd, 2020. Otherwise, I'd be tempted to think that might be Ryan. Then there's another one here. It says, "Hey girl, you don't know me, but my name is blank blank. Have recently been watching your story. Message me back." And then another inbound, "Hey Gypsy, you don't know me, so I hope writing to you is okay. Feel free to ignore it if you are busy. You must have lots of people write to you. I saw the film of your life and I just felt so bad for you. I don't believe you should be in prison. You served your sentence frowning up how you did." I assume they meant growing up how you did. "I really hope you get out sooner rather than later. You deserve to have a life. My name is Blank. I live in England. I'm 44 and a married mom of two grown kids. I did work up until this week when I was made redundant thanks to COVID-19. Anyway, I thought I would reach out and say hello and see how you're doing and what you're up to." So I don't see responses to any of those. And then all of a sudden here, we finally get an outbound from Gypsy. Let's check the date real quick. This is July 26, 2020. It says, "Hey, Blank, I'm single and looking for a man. What's your number?" Okay, and then it goes back in time for an outbound email from April 6, 2019. And I think she's talking about Keen or Jeff here, I don't know. Says, "Blank is your typical sports lover kind of guy. We do have tons in common for interests. We both want to travel the world. He is an undercover nerd. We both love Harry Potter and Star Wars. But more than our regular everyday interests, we always had a wonderful personality connection. He is very positive, always finds a silver lining in everything, and is my support when I'm too sad to be my bubbly self. We keep each other balanced." Smile. I guess there is a slight I don't think that's I think that's too early for there to be any way for that to have been about Ryan. And she didn't talk about that Ryan like that to hardly anyone, unless it's like Ryan's mom or something. Then we get into more Cookie Lady emails. So I've read these before way back, but I'm going to go ahead and go through them again real quick. This is inbound and it is on March 20th, 2019. "Hi, Gypsy. It's a Cookie Lady here. I spoke to your dad recently and he mentioned he told you about us. I'm very sorry about that. Please don't believe that I was using you to get to your dad. It never even crossed my mind in the beginning. I was and still am genuinely concerned and hoping for the best for you. I've been trying to follow your story, but only so much is available in your updates. Your dad told me your stepmom read you my first letter and you couldn't retrieve my second letter because I included stationery in the envelope. Sorry about that. I'm new to this. I was also told your stepmom threw out my cookies. Sad face. I understand it was due to the thought of them being poisoned. I can kind of understand that, but it still hurt. I sent so many cookies for you to go to town on because I watched an episode of a show about your suffering and it showed you not being allowed to enjoy sweets. So I wanted to bake you my best cookies. So how are you doing? It must be nice to have access to emails, much more convenient than traditional mail. I understand your dad will be visiting you soon and we'll be meeting Blank. I think that's wonderful that you found a caring, loving man. From what I have heard, he sounds incredibly sweet. I'm running out of character space, so I should wrap this email up. However, I have to tell you that you are growing to be such a beautiful young woman. Your luscious hair and your bright smile is breathtaking. Last picture I saw of you with your parents, you had long hair with bangs. I think the bangs look gorgeous. You should keep them. But you pull off the long wavy hair too. I hope to hear from you. Please don't be upset with me being romantically involved with your dad. We don't talk that much anymore and we're just friends now. You come first in this situation. If you would like me to send cookies, please feel free to say so when your parents can bring them. And that's the end of that one. Y'all, I cannot believe the audacity of this lady to be sad or upset at all that Kristy threw out her cookies when she knows that Kristy knows that this lady is having a long distance sexting situationship entanglement with Rod. What the actual hell? And then ends it up with, let me know when your parents can bring some of my cookies to you, as it right after saying, please don't be upset with me being romantically involved with your dad. I just really can't with the cookie lady, y'all. So yeah, I just found that super hilarious, y'all. Next, we have outbound from Gypsy. Hello, Miss Blank. Smile. How are you? I'm not upset at all about you and my father being romantically interested in each other. I was shocked at first, but what needs to be said is that my father's happiness is very important to me. And I told him that if you and him have a good thing, I give my blessing and I'm happy for y'all. Dad and Blank have been married a long time, and I think, in my opinion, he stays out of obligation to the marriage, not because he is oh so happy with her. And I wouldn't be surprised if a divorce was on the horizon. Blank and I have a bond of our own, though nowadays we are kind of seeing things differently with regards to the media and TV show attention. I've had many conversations with her about us declining any more interviews and TV appearances, but she continues to do them and put my name into the spotlight again and again, and I'm getting very tired of it. I just want to move on and heal from all this pain. And yes, I heard about the cookies and that they were thrown away. Sad face. I want to apologize for that. That was very sweet, and I'm sad I couldn't have them because I sure do love cookies. Smile. Yes, they are coming the first weekend in May. I'm excited and nervous about Dad getting to meet Blank. Don't tell Dad, but Blank is going to ask Dad for my hand. Smile. Which I know Dad only wants my happiness, but I also know he wants to do the whole dad thing and ask Blank all these important questions before giving his blessing. Smile. As for me, I'm doing good. I don't know if Dad told you, but I did pass all the subjects except my math and my GED. So once I pass math, then I can graduate. Smile. I started the new old job and I had quit about 4 months ago and then last week got rehired doing photography for women in here. It's fun, but OMG, does it keep me busy, tongue face. I can send you new pics of me if you would like. How many stamps does it take to send a letter to Canada? Oh, I would need your mailing address too, please. Smile. It's finally spring and the weather is nice out, so I'll maybe try going to get some sun in the next few days. Anywho, I hope you have a lovely day. Please know that I am happy that my father has you as a friend or as more. I just want to see him happy. Smile. Big hugs. So yeah, Gypsy was really, in my opinion, y'all, down to get Kristy tossed out and take off with her dad and Cookie Lady. And then on April 5th, 2019, we have an outbound from Gypsy where she's talking about Keen again, I think. Oh, and also going back to the Cookie Lady email for a minute, I just gotta say it's hilarious that the Cookie Lady's under the impression that Gypsy didn't get to enjoy sweets when we know in the interrogation she's talking about, oh, Disney World just pokes you full of sugar, sugar, sugar. And I was so hyper, I was dancing up and down the streets. Okay, back to the emails. Outbound from Gypsy. We met after he watched the documentary Mommy, Dead and Dearest in May of 2017 and decided to send me a letter of support. I wrote back and we became friends. Then he became my best friend and we just built a natural connection. And in September of 2017, he came to visit me from Seattle. And in the first 30 minutes, he just got overwhelmed by his feelings and kissed me out of the blue. And that kiss got us both in trouble with the visitation staff as inmates are allowed a brief hug and kiss. However, our kiss was long makeout style, LOL. So the visit was terminated due to not following the rules, and he was suspended from visiting me for 6 months. Needless to say, we kept in consent contact and made it official. We have been together ever since, and now he knows when he comes to visit me, not just a peck, not a full on porno, LOL. In October of last year, he proposed in the visiting room. Smile. And I said yes. Smile. We made the recent decision that it is best for our relationship if he moves to Kansas City to be closer to me. That will be a huge leap forward for us as well. He does treat me amazing. He's my rock and the biggest blessing, giving me strength, understanding, support, and love. He really is my soulmate. And I'm so happy we found each other, even in my circumstance. At first, my dad didn't like Blink very much after the whole getting me wrote up for the kiss. I also got kicked off of the honor wing because it was my third write up. So when dad found out Blink was the reason I was kicked off the honor dorm and on room restriction, dad was like, I don't want him ever going to see her again. Eesh, what a first impression. LOL. Well, after about 3 months into our relationship, I told dad that Blink and I are dating. Now, mind you, my father pays little attention to who is passing Blink of the month. So it took a year for him to realize this is not just a 1 or 2 month thing. That is getting serious, and we are talking marriage, so y'all best make nice. It's time to meet the parents. LOL. He has talked with Blake over the phone loads of times and is sometimes annoyed by her drive to thrust my story in the media. But other than that, they get along fine, and she likes him. My future plans include traveling. I want to see the Northern Lights someday. I want children, at least two. And I have thought of Aurora Rose for a girl, and Blake's middle name is Rayleigh, so Rayleigh for a boy. I want to be an advocate for children that have been abused, particularly from parents with Munchausen. My interests are more geeky. I love poetry, European culture, cosplay, sci fi movies, a big Star Wars and Harry Potter fan. I'm a total fangirl, lol. I love animals. I'm both a cat and dog person. Dream job. Anything with animals or kids? Smile. What about you? What things do you like? It's funny how Gypsy always says that being an advocate was thrust on her, but she throws it out there to people all the time to make herself look good as her personal desire. I want to be an advocate for children that have been abused. Also, we know Gypsy's been having the names ready for years. So if she is pregnant now, if that wasn't just a leak they put in the prison as a test, it's going to be Riley. I remember seeing a second name for a girl with Keen. Also, I think Gypsy thinks that watching Game of Thrones and stuff like that equals being into European culture. The only European culture I've ever seen her show real interest in was Italy guy. So then we've got another incoming from Cooky Lady, and it came in March 26, 2019. It's quite interesting. Like I said, I've read it before, but we're going to analyze it again real quick. Hi, Gypsy. I'm so excited to hear from you. Thank you so much for being okay with what your dad and I had. We're just friends now. Check in on each other once in a while. Just need to make one thing clear. Your dad first flirted with me and I quickly fell for it, so it's all his fault. LOL. Really, though, your dad is an amazing man. He seems to beat himself up often about being absent from your childhood and not knowing the truth. I think last summer I tried to calm him down about it. All he wants to do is make it up to you. Him and I spoke today because it's his birthday. When your dad visits you in the fall, he is going to bring my cookies for you. I'll be shipping them to his friend's house. Sneak face. He mentioned you were enjoying your photography job. I think that's great. I absolutely do want a picture of you. However, I'll give you my business address once it is up and running. I'm in the middle of opening a bakery cafe in August. Once that opens, I'll give you the address. I'm calling it Traeger Me. I didn't know about school. Good for you for passing your courses. And you will pass math. Don't you worry about that. Math is an annoying subject. It's for people who are into science and engineering. I took math 11 3 times and I got a C minus 3 times. It's not a subject for me. You and I are into art and writing. You taught yourself how to read with Harry Potter books. You like photography, and these talents of yours will grow. I love writing papers and art myself. My art is in my baking and cake decorating. So you do what you can with math and move on from there. I'm actually hoping you become a writer and write fantasy novels. I can see you being exceptionally skilled at that. I'm so sorry to hear that Blank has been pushing you to do more interviews when you still suffer from the pain. Does your dad know? I know Blank means well and wants the truth out there, but you're an adult who can make her own decisions. You have a lot of support out there, and millions of people know your truth. If I may say, I did not like your Dr. Phil interview. It bothered me when he was listing why he condemned your actions. I wanted to call him out by saying, I don't recall Gypsy asking for your opinion. She's just here to share her story. Oh, well, enough of that. I'm so excited for you and Blank. I just messaged your dad and told him you emailed me and teased him about a secret you and I are now keeping from him. He pretty much rolled his eyes at me and replied with, and the plot thickens, lol. I'll tell your dad to go easy on Blank, and I'm sure he will. Your dad is just being the typical Papa Bear and trying to protect his cubs. You're his first baby, so it will be hard on him, I'm sure. So when you and Blank get engaged, when do you think you will get married? I wish I could make your wedding cake for you and easily ship it down there. I have some hair pieces and jewelry from my wedding. If you need anything, let me know. So, with the whole, your dad flirted with me first and I quickly fell for it. It's his fault. It seems like this lady has a suspicion that Gypsy think that she used Rod to get to Gypsy, and that might be true. I don't know, but I think it's very telling that she keeps trying to reiterate that that was not what I was doing. Your dad flirted first, and I just fell for it. Blah blah blah. It seems like she's trying to do some CYA there. What do y'all think, friends? Let me know in the comments. Also, this woman's audacity knows no bounds, being all sneaky. Your dad's gonna bring my cookies. I'm shipping them to his friend's house. And then telling Gypsy that, she hopes Kristy's behaving, basically. And then there at the end, when she says, I have some hair pieces and jewelry from my wedding. I wish I could make your wedding cake. Like, it's really weird how badly this lady wants to be up in Gypsy's life. Why are people so obsessed with murderers, y'all? I realize we sit here and talk about her on this channel every day, but we're bringing awareness to her craziness and her public grifting. Whether anyone thinks that that is worthwhile or not, that's what we're doing. But these people like tried really hard to, like, this lady was trying to be her new mama. She was trying real hard to be her new mama, all the way up to the point of trying to get with Gypsy's dad, trying to insert her own wedding memorabilia into Gypsy's wedding with Keen. It's just really weird to me, y'all. What do y'all think, friends? And then we have outbound from Gypsy. Hey, smile. LOL. Yeah, my dad is a flirt. LOL. I'm so happy he's going to bring the cookies. Smile. Blink and I might get married with a small ceremony in here, maybe next July, then have our big wedding with all our friends and family when I am free. Smile. For now, he is going to be moving to Kansas City in order to be closer to me. Smile. Yes, I have told dad that I don't like the media attention and he agrees with me. And he and I are totally like just shying away from it. Blink can do that all on our own because we are moving forward. I wish she could see it does me more harm than good, but dad and I seem to be on the same page with it all, declining all interviews and TV stuff. My main focus is to build a bond with him because I know he feels bad for not knowing, but that's not his fault. I hold no, and then it cuts off. And then we have a copy and paste outbound. Oh, something I forgot to mention in the inbound, the last inbound I read from the cookie lady is isn't it interesting, y'all? So Gypsy said, of course I'll send you pictures of me. I will just need your address. The cookie lady in her response, here's what she says. He mentioned you were enjoying your photography job. I think that's great. And I absolutely do want a picture of you. However, I'll give you my business address once it is up and running. I'm in the middle of opening a bakery cafe in August. Once that opens, I'll give you the address. I'm calling it Tre Gourmet. Why was she uncomfortable giving Gypsy her home address? It had to be her business one. I think that's a really interesting question. What do y'all think, friends? I mean, we remember Jeff getting, plum scared at one point because Gypsy had given Brian Jeff's address, and Jeff looked up Brian's reported activities in the news. He got pretty freaked out. Kind of wonder if any of that mess got filtered through Rod to the cookie lady, because it seems like they were just telling Gypsy's business to anyone that reached out to him anytime in these Facebook groups. Rod Skyping naked with everybody and starting situationships. Yeah. Then inbound to Gypsy. I think this is still Cookie Lady. I'm not positive though, but I think this is Cookie Lady and this is the email she sent that Gypsy was answering some questions. The date on this is April 3rd, 2019. It says, hello, lovely. These are exciting wedding plans you have. Were you surprised when he asked you? How exactly did you guys meet and start a relationship? I'm kind of nervous for Blank to meet your dad. I think your dad won't be too hard on him because clearly your dad wants nothing but happiness and peace for you, as do I. Blank is a very lucky man to have you in his life. Is he into art and novels like you? So sorry if I'm asking too many questions or if I'm coming off like I am prying. I'm just so happy for you. There's this guy in a Facebook group that has been asking me how to get in contact with you. His name is Blank, and he seems like a very nice man and is concerned about your well being, but I just found him to be a bit much. Hopefully, he won't bombard you with too much of his own life story on abuse, unless, of course, you enjoy that. One more question before I leave. Do you have an idea as to what you would like to do after you are out of prison? I know, and then it cuts off. Then we got a few more random, hi, Gypsy, saw your story, blah, blah, blah. And then Gypsy responds with copy paste. And then we've got another inbound where it looks like someone once again went through Kristy to get to Gypsy. This came in on March 12th, 2019. It says, "Hey there, my name is Blink. I happened to watch a special on that HBO side on you about a year ago. I was really drawn to you. I need up getting in touch with you stepmom. She was willing to give me an address to write you. I don't know if you have a lot of people writing you, but I thought I would try and see if you would want a PayPal. I wouldn't mind putting your money on your books when I can keep up the emails. What works with? Like I said, I just wanted to write you." Hmm. And then Gypsy responds on July 16th, 2019. Kristy must have had to alert her that she had another pay pig in the pipelines. Outbound from Gypsy. "Hey, Blink, smile. Aw, that's sweet. You can make a deposit to my commissary by phone or online through JPay. That's much appreciated. As I need to buy new clothes for the year, my old ones have holes. LOL, thank you. I have less emails nowadays. How are you doing?" "I'm doing all right. It's been relaxing not having the NC drama in my life. Well, if it's there, I just don't hear about it, and I like it that way. So I cut my hair last month. It's like 6 inches shorter. Next year, I'm planning to go dark blonde. Smile. I'm having a fun time changing my looks while in here. Smile. I did watch my Killer Couples episode on Oxygen Network. Every time something new comes out, I have to relive it all over again, and I hate it. Even worse, everyone has cable in here, so 2,000 women watched it and has their own way of spinning it. Needless to say, I feel like an outsider and judged even by other murderers. I often feel alone and excluded. My only comfort is talking to friends and family on the phone. But starting on the 21st, the prison is placing a phone time limit, one call for 15 minutes for every hour. Keep in mind, right now, we never had an amount of time we could spend on the phone. We could chat all day if we wanted, but soon that will change. Frown face. I'm doing my best to stay positive in this environment, but some days it's hard. Anyway, I'm glad you wrote me again. Smile. Have a lovely day. Outbound from Gypsy. "Sure, I can tell you a few stories and jokes that will have you rolling, but some might be better heard. So, what's your phone number?" Smile. Inbound to Gypsy. "Hey, Gypsy, good morning. I don't know when you'll get this, but it's morning here right now. Tongue face. So, I haven't messaged you in a couple months, knowing that you have, in fact, been getting a ton of messages from strangers. Must be weird to have so many people know you so well, yet you have no idea who we all are. Regardless, I know your birthday is coming up, and I'd like to get something for you. Maybe some cash for commissary? Or, from what I think I understand, is that Blank has a nest egg account she set up for you. You tell me what I can do. All I ask for in return is to hear a few of your jokes. Rumor has it you have quite a sense of humor. I've had it with all the bullshit from the haters you have in that group run by NC. I refuse to even acknowledge by her name. So, anyways, let me know what I can do for you. I'd like to do something. And if you don't get it before your birthday, I'll. And then it cuts off. That's so funny. Oh my God. And it says, "I understand that Blank has a nest egg account she has set up for you." So it sounds like Kristy was telling people Gypsy has money set aside while at the same time maybe screening for pay pigs. I don't know. What does this seem like to y'all, friends? Let me know in the comments. I'm just surmising here. This stuff is weird. Then we have Outbound from Gypsy on July 24th, 2019. "Wow, goodness. Well, thank you, Blank. Smile. I wasn't expecting you or anyone to be supportive of my choice to break away from by proxy and Blink. I can probably see that you understand why I did. It's been 4 years and my story has been told by every media source available to the public. Two doc films, multiple specials, one cheesy Lifetime movie, and countless articles. I am tired. The sad part is, this is not the first time I have voiced my wishes. I have been telling Blink I'm done for over a year, and though I love her and I do know she has only the best in mind for me, unfortunately, I think that Blink is an unhelpful guidance. Blink and Blink are nearly in all interviews together, and they do them against my wishes or they don't tell me at all. I have been preaching for us to fade away for a long time. It's not normal that even in here people want my autograph, and I personally hate it because I'm not a celebrity, nor do I want to be. It's very lonely and isolating being well known because everyone either hates you or wants to be you. You never know who your real friend or who is just there for the recognition. The first year after the murder, I was set on going to live with my father in Blink. Nothing seemed wrong with that. Seemed like a place where I could finally be free. Then, as the years passed, Blink was always doing some new interview, was always in the Facebook drama, and my father began to feel differently about his marriage with her. And in 2017, he expressed concerns to me that he was considering a divorce. He told me it was for many reasons why he was thinking about it. My world just felt rocked. Thinking about these are two people I have opened my heart to and will be going home with, and that could be ruined. I started turning to other options to cope. I was headed down a dark place. Then Blank wrote me, and his friendship brought me out of that dark place. Dad decided to stay with her, but that level of openness with my dad brought him and I closer together. Now he has had problems with messaging women behind Blank's back. He told me about this one lady who I actually JPay email, lol. She's known as the Cookie Lady, and she's sweet for real. She started as a supporter while my dad and her really hit it off good, and he was even planning to move to Canada to be with her. Yeah, OMFG, right? Well, they decided to call off the long distance affair. Now dad only Skypes naked in the shower with other chicks. LOL slaps forehead. Yeah, TMI. Anyway, now I'm not so wrecked if dad and Blank didn't stay together because now I'm going to be home planning with Blank. And that leads me to my point. I'll be living my own life with someone who doesn't use my name for fame, money, or attention, and that is all I want. I don't mind working a Monday job. Heck, I only get paid 2 cents a day in here in prison. Minimum wage looks like a million, lol. I often get grouped with the by proxy team because back in the day I supported it. Now that I see what fame and attention has done to our family, it's heartbreaking and I'm ready to set things right, even if that makes me an outcast. Blank and Blank are trying to force me to write an email backtracking on everything I said when I was being honest about how I feel, and I won't. I will not be entertaining Blank, nor will I entertain Blank. To me, they are just the same, so let them be at war. I'm out. Deuces, motherfuckers. I will not email Blank anymore. She is the leader of her drama club, and Blank is the leader of her own drama squad. And sadly, my stepmother is one of her members. Cry face. If Blank is trying to get my court record, so be it. I never participated in the physical murder. I hid in the bathroom. Nowhere will it say Gypsy stabbed Dee Dee. So she's SOL for trying to prove Blank's innocence, if that's why she's trying to obtain court documents. And also, never was I pregnant and had an abortion. Little known fact, Blank can never get it up, so he never climaxed, and neither did I. Sad trumpet sound. So embarrassing, tongue face. So me getting preggo is far fetched. Now, funny thing about that is Gypsy acts like everybody's so dumb to think she might have been pregnant when she got in there, but she was telling people all the time, the whole time her and Nick were together, that she was trying to get pregnant and thought she might be pregnant. So it wasn't entirely dumb for people to think that was a possibility. That's Gypsy's own lies. She traps herself in her webs. Okay, and then we have Inbound to Gypsy on August 5th, 2019. Unfortunately, Gypsy, every relationship we have that doesn't go to the end of time ends in heartbreak. I'm sorry you're going through all that. I really hate that his mom would do that. Did he know she felt that way? Did he not warn you she would be saying these things to you? Relationships are a lot of work. I don't know how you've been doing it long distance and being where you are for as long as you did. Hell, the girl I am dating is always on again, off again. She lives all the way down in Naples, which is a 2-hour drive. On top of the fact that she doesn't have a car, which makes it quite exhausting for me. Her name is Blank. She's really sweet. We get along great when we're together, but the distance and time apart makes it too hard, which is why we're broken up right now. She thinks my support of you is sweet, but I think she still gets jealous of it at times, lol. I know those are words you've heard 100 times today and we'll hear 100 times more tomorrow, but what is meant to be is meant to be. Maybe this is an opportunity to focus on yourself. Take a good hard thought about what kind of life you'll have when you walk out of that place. It is coming. I'll be really excited for you, truly. Someone said you want to be an advocate against Munchausen's. Someone else said you want to open your own hair salon and offer me free haircuts. Okay, fine. 20% discount is fair. What do you want to do? Do you still talk to Dr. Phil at all? I was listening to something Nancy Grace said about you the other day and your whole situation and being there. She is 100% on your side, that you should never have spent a night in there. It was good to hear. I've always liked her. I messaged Blank the other night. I forget about what, but she had mentioned that she was just on the phone with you. I was really happy to hear that. Blank is extremely unprofessional and doesn't hold herself accountable for a damn thing she does wrong. I knew the second I saw the screenshot of her bashing Blank in a private message, I thought, how much more irresponsible can you be? You know Gypsy is eventually going to hear about that. I was pissed. That's when I asked her if she would continue the BP project without your consent, and she basically said that she would. Then it wasn't long after that your email blast in NC's group went boom, lol. Her and her team have been very quiet all of a sudden. Looks like the boom worked. I understand your dad's relief about the prison wedding. I understand it would have made you happy, but I'm sure he wants to put on a badass bash for your wedding someday and on the actual day you do get married. That building you're in right now, that's a temporary part of your life. It's going to be over soon, and you'll never have to look back at it. At the same time, that's my opinion. Personally, if you and Blank do patch it up and decide that's what you do, then I'm happy for you. And you should do it if that's what you both want. You're one of the most resilient people on the planet. You're not going to be good. You're going to be great. Just give it time. I know it isn't easy. You have a friend in me, Gypsy Rose. Anytime you want to talk, scream, cry, or vent about anything, just go for it. I'm a good listener. And I think I have a good understanding of people, how to read them, what their intentions. And then it cuts off from there. So this is Italy guy. He starts off, he complains, hell, the girl I am dating is always on and off again. She lives down in Naples, doesn't have a car, blah, blah, blah. We're broken up right now. But he refers to her as a girl he's dating. Then here we've got inbounds. This might be Italy guy still. I don't know. I'm not sure. It says, please don't cry over it. If you cry, then I'll cry, and a grown man crying is just uncomfortable for everyone in the room. LOL. Yes, this kind of a continuation of a message I sent you yesterday, and it's slow at work right now. I just feel like I left things out. You know how you describe the sad trumpet sound? I'm sure you meant more about womp womp, but for some reason, I can't get the prices right music they play when a contestant loses their game. Laugh face. The warring Facebook groups is actually kind of hilarious at this point. It's almost stopped being about you and has become about what NC Blank and their minions can dig up about each other. It's a whole story within itself. I'm surprised In Touch or some other media outlet hasn't seen this and reported on the war ongoing. You're definitely smart and doing the right thing. Focus on your relationship with your fiance. Focus on that GED. And damn, you only make 2 cents a day? That is a bit ridiculous. What do the other women do in there that don't have the same kind of support you do? So, other than clothes, what else can you get? Keep in mind, you're talking to someone who knows virtually nothing about what life in a prison is like, other than what I've seen on TV. Like, what else can you get with your canteen money? Do you have a curfew for bed? Can you share the cookie lady's name with me? I'm just really curious who she might be. She must be in one of these Facebook groups. What kind of rec time things do you do? You mentioned a few months ago you tried playing sports, but were too clumsy to be keeping up. Well, that's why practice makes perfect. I played baseball for several years when I was younger. I used to have a real passion for that and watching the Red Sox when I still lived in Boston. So you stated that you're going to go blonde, or have you already gone blonde? You'll have to let me know so I can start on you with some blonde jokes. Tongue face. A blonde, a brunette, a redhead are stuck on a deserted island. They find a magic lantern, so they rub it, and sure enough, a genie pops out. He states that he has the ability to grant 3 wishes, so each woman gets 1 wish. The brunette says, I wish I could go home. I miss my friends and family, and poof, she vanishes, and it is assumed she was transported home. The redhead says, yes, I wish the same. I wish I could go home too. Poof, she also vanishes. The genie then looks to the blonde, who is now suddenly in tears, and looks up and says, I wish my friends were still here. Have a good birthday, Gypsy. Talk to you soon. Blink. I don't know if that's Italy a guy or not. It didn't quite sound like him, but who knows? Inbound to Gypsy. Oh, hell yeah. Coffee is an absolute must every morning for me, especially the mornings I have to be awake at 5 a.m. I hate nothing more in this world than 5 a.m. I can say I've never been privileged to try a bacon and cream cheese bagel. Bacon is good on absolutely everything. I'm glad you have access to decent food because I've seen some pictures of what they'll serve in a prison. It looks pretty miserable. I do like pizza, definitely way too often. I'm a pizza junkie for sure. I'm glad you got back to me. I saw yet another email you sent out to people. I don't know why they would post that when clearly that was the opposite of what you were looking for. I roll, stating you'll no longer have contact with blank and will only be speaking to certain friends and family going forward. So I'll tell you, I'm glad that you trust me enough to keep messaging me. I 100% understand why you would stop talking to Blake. However, I can tell you, I reached out to her as soon as I saw your email. In so many words, I told her, you have to fix this and fast. Not that I'm anyone who should be telling her what she should do in any way. I actually expect a bit of backlash from her, but she didn't. In fact, she agreed quickly. She told me she was all done with by proxy. I told her to begin to prove that she would need to leave the Facebook discussion group, and she did immediately. Then she asked me to let NC, yeah, I know, vomit, know anonymously and to have her post it. So without hesitation, I'll give NC this. She didn't name me, but took my word and posted it. So it was loud and clear. Blink wasn't perfect. She should have left Blink long before she did. But the fact is, she did do it. Blink isn't going to get shit. She's scrambling to save her name at this point and looks like an absolute fool doing it. LOL. Oh, the drama. I know. Enjoy your mac and cheese. I know I'll enjoy my bacon and cream cheese bagel soon enough. Outbound from Gypsy. LOL. That's a good one. Smile. My hair is dark red and is currently shoulder length as I cut it about a month and a half ago. I plan to grow it out again and dye it dark blonde, but that's going to be a hot minute. So I told Blank I wasn't talking to her anymore because though I love her, I have to love her at a distance. Now she is saying she is going to try and get out of the contract and end things with Blank. I'm so confused. I just need time to think. I can't just call her because what if it's a tactic to get me back in touch, then turn around and she's not broken free of Blank. So I feel I need to wait till she's done with Blank before I let her be in my life again. We get paid monthly. I get $7.50 per month. Some jobs pay as much as 150, but that's like work release, the ones that are within a year from release. Canteen, OMG, anything from ketchup to fly swatters, LOL. The food selection is pretty decent. I spend $60 on hygienes, everything from shampoo to Nair. LOL, this week I need food since I am good on hygienes. I think I'll buy mac and cheese, prepackaged chicken, wraps, bacon, cream cheese. Bacon cream cheese bagels are great. I also buy Folgers, and then it cuts off. I wonder if she ever learned not to throw all the mac and cheese ingredients in together at once. Y'all remember Nick's stepdad in the interrogation talking about how crazy she tried to cook mac and cheese, and when he tried to instruct her, she's like, "This is how my mom does it." Just like how at Kian's house, whenever he was like, "What are you doing to those eggs? Did you not grease the pan?" She's like, "That's how I do it at mom and dad's." Outbound from Gypsy. Hi, Blank. Thanks for looking out. Smile. I have only sent her 3 emails. That's it. No more. I will not let her enjoy my attention. Sending hugs. Jip. Inbound to Gypsy. Hi, Gypsy Rose. Please stop writing back to blank blank. That woman is vile and disgusting. Every word you say to her becomes public knowledge. I know you're just defending your fiance and family, but 90% of this group will pick apart every word you're saying. You're better than this. You're too good for them. In this group of people, none are my friends in any way, shape, or form. You need to understand these people crave your attention because they have nothing else going on for them in life. You are where you are, but you're a much happier person than any single one of them. They have nothing better to do than harass you and your family, and they all get off on it when they get your attention. Why am I still in this group, you may ask? Because if any one of them ever makes any type of legitimate threat, I'll be sending it off to blank immediately. I, however, I have, however, gotten on their good side. I'm your one supporter that these vile haters actually like. Maybe I just have a way with words. Maybe I'm just incredibly handsome. Laugh face. I don't know. I continue to support you on there daily, and they know they can't stop my support no matter how hateful they are. What do we do about haters? We love them. We love them back because we don't hate back. We appreciate it and wish them the best in their lives. Tom Brady. Don't let these people get you down. You're better than them. You have a wonderful life ahead. Let these haters live there. And then it cuts off. Inbound to Gypsy. Did you send me a message? This thing since yesterday says I have a new message, but when I go to the inbox, there's nothing new there. So I don't know if you messaged me, send it again. Or if not, send me a message anyways. Tongue face, hope things are well. I think these are between her and Jeff now. I've read some of these before. I might be wrong, but yeah. So this is a strange one. It's inbound to Gypsy on the date of November 3rd, 2019. It says, "Good morning, Gypsy. So I sent off your GED scores. The mailman never showed up at my work yesterday, so I had to drop it off at the post office. Regardless, I lost like a full day, so you probably won't get it till later in the week. I have a shit ton of extra stamps now, so let me know if you'd like anything else specific mailed to you." I asked Blank to take a picture of that pamphlet for me, and she basically said, "Look, you either know how to follow rules or you don't, LOL." So I said, "Yeah, I hear your husband has a hard time remembering the rules when it comes to putting his feet on the table." Laugh face. I took a flex selfie in the mirror for you and feel really vain and douchey about it, but you requested it, so I'm going to send it. You asked for a gun show. I can only do one gun at a time with the phone in hand. I put in my request for April 3rd to 6th off. I'm almost positive I'll be approved. Then I'll look to book the actual trip there and probably around February, but otherwise I'll keep checking trip cost and make sure nothing crazy happens to the prices. I did go online to find pics of what the visiting room and procedures are. I think I can handle the rules and be okay. Looks like there's a lot of tables all lined up next to each other with blue chairs. It isn't clear whether or not it's actually your facility I'm looking at. I can't believe you don't want me to visit in January because if you don't like your haircut. Laugh face, laugh face. Anyways, I've definitely had some dreams of you visiting Florida after you're out. In fact, I'm going to stop at the beach on my way to my parents' house today and finally get you that beach video. I can't wait to see you in your hot little beach bod there. Kissy face. Okay, I'll hear from you Tuesday. I hope your weekend went really well. Talk to you soon. Blink. I think that may be Jeff. So that's all I've got on the emails for today, friends. And the next video I'm going to do, whenever I was reading the Stan Hancock casebook, I wrote down questions I had about different things that come up there as I was reading the case book that I wanted to find the answers to. So, my next video is going to be going over those questions and what answers I have been able to find and what they mean for the case. So, as usual, we'll go out with a little palate cleanser, and I hope everyone's having a good day, friends. Like I said before, friends, it looks like we are going to get another lily bloom, but Feline munched on it a little bit. That's okay. You hear the crows in the background? I'm going to try to make friends with them.
Hey buddies, how are you? What's up, crow friends?